Okay, thank you for inviting me here today to talk to you. My name's Dr. Nicky Milner. I'm Interim Deputy Dean for Education at ARU, and we have our Medical Science, Biomedical Sciences accredited with the Royal Society of Biology. And I've been asked to talk about our Ruskin modules, which was a bold institutional approach. And I say bold as the Big Bang. Oh, sorry, it's not going. Let's start again, sorry. So talking about how we took a bold institutional approach to making our curriculum across the institution much more modern and how we can equip our students for the future. So we wanted to centre on a wicked problem as an institutional idea. So the concept was to challenge our students' thinking around questions which they can work together in an interdisciplinary approach through the formal teaching space. So that's why we chose to target on the curricula. And this was informed by our education strategy, which aimed to equip our students for the 21st century with the knowledge, the skills, the confidence, the ability to work in a challenging environment which they will, where they could recognise the changing landscape, bring their skills in and really demonstrate how they can be future leaders for our generations, bringing in their own subject experience and their lived experience from outside of the curricula. And so we framed this around modules, and we decided to use the wicked question as the module title so that the students could select a module which garnered their interest. And this is where the challenge arose, because this was completely outside of the subject that they were studying. So this was not a medical science, it was not a biomedical science module per se. It opened up their mind to a broader concept of how they might learn. And there lies the challenge. We tried to think about the future. So some of the examples of the modules that we used include AI, which we're talking about this afternoon, threat to humanity, so what that meant to them, how they could bring in their subject knowledge that they learnt through their first year at university, through their lived experience, their motivation for studying their course, and how they could learn to work with others and negotiate, challenge thinking, but also hear, so listening to other students. We looked at numbers, so we worked on the mathematical concepts as well. So actually, how do we read, interpret data? How do we then see that in the world through the social media and all the challenges which exist there? So how can we talk about accuracy of data and the challenge that we have, that we do at the moment with social media, and making sure that scientific principles are maintained within their area of study. We framed this around employability. So we have our ARU Capital graduates, and this was firmly embedded in the module and also through the teaching. And the overarching framework which all of the modules needed to be designed against was the UN's Sustainable Development Goals. So the students were learning through that framework and applying their knowledge in an interdisciplinary fashion in that sense. So to get the curricula validated, this needed to firstly get Senate approval from our institution that the concept of the Ruskin modules was appropriate, and that went through. We had to invest heavily up front with resources. So we took this approach as a project management idea and had dedicated leads from the university who essentially project managed it. So the management of this, the Ruskin modules, was taken outside of the individual course leadership. So there needed to be strong communication, there needed to be that upfront support in place. So through that, a concept was built. We had a lead, an institutional lead for Ruskin modules, and an administrator to deal with the heavy load of students signing up. Because all courses in our university, bar few, have this as a compulsory module, the Ruskin module, and there is a list of modules, which is currently sitting around 33. I think we've kept the same number as last year, where students can select from. We've won awards through this, so we've won the National Sustainability Award, it was part of our institutional submission for TEF, which we got gold awarded this year, and we are currently, I must say it, I'll be told off if not, we are the University of the Year, and it's all been part of the narrative as part of that application. So they've been well received externally. It's involved everyone in terms of the co-design right from the very start. We worked with the Students' Union, we've included race equality advocates, we have used students to co-create, to feed in to the initial ideas. They are part of that evaluation. They help us deliver some of the teaching. Most of it's online. We are slightly moving towards a face-to-face for some of the modules, but because they're institutional, they are delivered online. But we pay them to help facilitate. We use them as part of our interdisciplinary strategy as well, so that we are referring to this. We're looking at how we can build on this concept in the future. And it's all about the fusion of learning, bringing people together around the social, and the knowledge exchange which happens when people work in an interdisciplinary fashion. And it's inclusive. It empowered students, and the feedback that we've received so far really shows that those who have taken this on board, they felt empowered, not only within their course, within themselves, within their educational journey, but also in terms of their community responsibilities, their civic duties that we as a university have a strong values-based approach to. So we've engaged students in helping us to sell that message and be part of it. They own the Ruskin modules, we don't. We're there to be the academic leaders and make sure that we meet the academic regulations and to do the marking and part of the teaching. But the students have been involved in this. They've been communicating their experiences as panel members, as keynote speakers at our Interdisciplinary Learning Conference. They are co-presenting at our internal learning and teaching conference, and they've helped be authors in some of the books that we've published through this. So they're bringing in their skills and their experience and very much owning this journey with us, and it is a journey. But it's a journey where the student feedback is really showing the value of taking this bold approach, that they are changing. So they're modules which those that engage with, those that really understand it, have changed. And I've put some student feedback, if I pop it all up. I've highlighted some of the aspects of the feedback that, for me personally, really shows the value of this approach. As a member of a learning community, they've grown in confidence. They've become more independent, they understand their identity, and they've learnt about themselves as humans, not only as a student on a course. And this is part of the inclusivity element as well, that they've been able to be themselves. They've been able to overcome their challenge of working in a group, maybe learning online if they want to be face-to-face. And again, that's not come without challenges, but it's opened up that conversation with them. It's brought out their empathy. So they've demonstrated, because of the link back to the Sustainable Development Goals, and as part of listening to others, they are saying that they're more empathetic. They understand that sort of the elements of compassion, the compassionate resilience. They understand why things happen, but it opens up their mind globally to the challenges that we're all facing around the world, whether it's environmental, whether it's science, healthcare, whatever it is, it's opening up their mind and they're linking it back to their experiences on their course. And it's empowered them. So it's actually demonstrated, it's given them the tools, the knowledge to actually step out of the shadows. It's had impact. Some of the feedback that I've seen, they've actually gone out and done community volunteering because of this being highlighted in the module. And the data is showing a positive move forwards with the students' feedback. It's impacted on modules that sit outside of a future. So these are level 5, they're second year modules, and it's being demonstrated in the major project that that learning has been taken forward, that experience has been taken forward. So it's something that we have developed a really good community of academics within the university. We've just won a Vice-Chancellor Leader Award for the bold approach of taking this, because it has asked staff and students to step outside of their normal path so that they can actually embrace the Ruskin modules.